Well, the snow flurry is just starting to fall in the service park. Petter Solberg made a late choice to go to 4 inters. He was the nearest man to Juha Hallinen. They copied him. Both teams would rue that decision. Bouffier went for 4 snows but put studs in the back, 2 of them. Hallinen was struggling out there.
Hallinen, yes, he'd copied Solberg's choice. Solberg was his nearest threat, so he thought, right, I'll take the same tyres as Solberg, then we can't possibly lose out. Snow, lots of it. He was on intermediates. You only have to look at these pictures to see this was a fight for the entire stage. The entire stage 8 was covered in snow. 7 was covered in snow from a third of the way into the end.
And this is where he is now, and making the climb absolutely nightmarish, but at least safe. The descent, very tricky off 8. 3 tabletop descents, kind of dropping off the other side, and the entire order book was just ripped up, wasn't it?
Kopecky not over the moon with the choices from the team. It wasn't the safest of choices. Bouffier had probably made the safest choice, taking a mixture of different tyres, studded and unstudded, and you can see there that on stage 7, Kopecky lost 1 minute 15 at this point.
Yeah, 16 minutes and 12 seconds he'd taken to come through here. Look at this. Bouffier, well, you can see that Bouffier and Delacour clearly were a class apart, and the reason was they've gone for some studs.
That was drifting the whole stage long at the end.
I don't know, what should I say. If you see this better and if you see our tires, I think something is wrong. I don't know what is wrong, but I think this is something what should not happen. Yeah. Okay, what we can do now? Nothing.
What did you choose as a tire?
You can say intermediate.
You can say intermediates, he'll probably call them something else later on. Petter Solberg was coming into the snowy conditions. Incidentally, on stage 7 it kind of started off with a little bit of tarmac. We were worried about Delacour's choice, more on that in a moment. He went for studs. Poor old Petter Solberg got himself into real trouble as the blizzard conditions came down. We had to put the helicopters down. It was too dangerous for them. And Solberg, even at very, very slow speeds, yeah, was finding the edge. Did it on a number of occasions, and he was absolutely livid. The smile was gone by the end of the stage. So Bouffier, quickest on the stage, taking stage 7. Yeah, see the tarmac early on? Well, Bouffier, don't forget, was running 4 snows, but with 2 studs on board. He had the choice to stick those studs on a little bit later on, and he needed them.
So Bouffier jumped from 7th to overall leader in just 1 stage, and the rally with the weather, with the snow, have been completely turned on its head.
It was amazing. Delacour, he was on full studs early on at the first split, which was only about 5 or 6 kilometers into the stage. He was actually trailing by 17 seconds, an awful lot. And you can see it was a bit skittery in his hands. The reason was studs don't work that great on tarmac. We were worried that he was actually going to wear them out and they may not be any use later on. Oh, how wrong we were, and how wrong were everybody else out there, Andrew, with their tyre choices.
Very much indeed. Now, Guy Wilkes was one of those to go on a snow tyre, but with the studs removed, so a no-studded snow tyre. And in fact, the guys from Persia UK let me know today, Guy has never tested the car in snowy conditions, and he put in a fantastic performance this afternoon, 3rd on the stage, 7.
Sarrazin, one of those having his troubles as well. Sarrazin went for 4 snows and put 2 slicks in the back just for the weight, apparently, of the lightest tyre, and he didn't think he would need anything else. Quite a gamble. But anyway, there you can see the intermediates starting to come through to us, but don't forget they included an awful lot of tarmac. So after stage 7, that's what the overall looked like, with Bouffier, our new leader, and Delacour up to 6th. But remember, Delacour was going to start stage 8 on entire studs. What a great situation to be in, where you can see from the flaring of the lights, those who hadn't made a good tyre choice were really suffering, Andrew.
They were. Voulers not so bad.
What kind of tyres did you have for this special stage?
We had combination that we had intermediate.
Yeah, combination intermediates. Well, Petter Solberg, he'd gone for inters as well, don't forget, but it depended on what cuts you'd added to them. And look at this, almost slow motion, but it actually wasn't. This is real time we're watching here.
Yeah, absolutely zero grip. We'd been joined by PG Anderson from Proton in the commentary box at this point for the live coverage, and he'd said it will be impossible for them even to get down the road section, let alone the stage with this amount of snow on the road.
Hallinen finished stage 8, 18th. He gave away 2 minutes and 46. How remarkable is that? They were just tearing it up down there. Yes, amazing. General standings at the end of this one. Nobody quite knew what was going to happen, apart from the fact that Bouffier and Delacour were going to do okay.
Sarrazin struggling for grip as well. It was really, really tricky. Everybody had said that what they'd wanted was studded tyres at this point, but as we already know, Delacour had taken 4, Bouffier had taken 2 of those, and anybody else was only going to try and survive.
Yeah, you can see it's not slow motion. You can see from the movement of the fans here, it certainly looks like it, doesn't it? Well, there we are. Guy Wilkes struggling, but still setting a decent time and catching up traffic as well. Those who'd gone for, he's on snow tyres, don't forget. Those who'd gone to intermediates were passed by. I think he passed 2 cars in the stage.
Jean-Sébastien Vignon lost 10 minutes in the stage and I think was passed by 4 people. He had a horrendous afternoon.
Drive of the day, really, for me, quietly speaking, was Freddie Loix. 12 kilometres with a puncture in the snow. It wasn't a great time difference between himself and Loix on the stage. Absolutely amazing. 5th quickest, 1 minute and 28 down. Goodness only knows what he'd have done if he'd been driving without a puncture. But Delacour was the story, really, of the day. What a fantastic story it was.
Well, everybody smiled when he left service. Why are you taking 4 studded tyres with you? And he said, because it's snowing. And of course, it was snowing. Whether it was local knowledge for the previous Monte winner or just a spot of luck, the fans loved it. Delacour was out there on studded tyres, and he set fastest time for the first time in a very long time in such a big and important event.
Absolutely, and by 27.1 seconds he's up to 2nd place overall in the standings, 28 seconds adrift. Bouffier is our leader. He took the lead on stage 7. This was a moment where he almost handed it to Delacour. He was very lucky. A full pirouette, back underway. It was rear end bodywork damage only. Lucky man. Well, he came home, he'd set the 2nd quickest time, 27 seconds indeed behind Delacour, who was on full studs, Bouffier on a mix of studs and winters, and there is our overall classification as we head to the final day. We can't believe it. It's almost like a fairy story in a fairy tale background. Look at this, beautiful pictures we've had today. But Bouffier leads Delacour ahead of Loix, Wilkes there, your top 4, Sarrazin in 5th place, Hallinan down into 6th now, Solberg wondering what might have been, 2 minutes and 36 down and 3 minutes 49. What about that?
Florian Gonon, the Swiss driver in the Subaru, leading the Group N. Catch, he has a 10-second gap on Czech driver Stef Wojciech. And this is what we have in line for you tomorrow.
Now, stage 9 we won't be live, but we will be for 10, 11, 12 and 13. Don't forget, we're going late into the night. It'll be a late start, 18:45, I beg your pardon, on Friday. We'll be up with stage 10 plus a little bit of action from 9 in the morning. We're making the big transfer to Monte Carlo and hope you will join us for that. We'll see you then.